What's going on, guys? Got another video for you today. This is going to be a GCS Badaxx that I have upgraded for KSith or Keenan. This is one they sent to me earlier in the year, and we were trying to do a couple things, so I was waiting on a couple parts. And then the other day I actually found the one part that I was waiting for. With Corona, it's kind of been funky. So what he wanted me to do is he wanted me to take his Badaxx, which is, I think it had a CS3. Let me see. I don't know, this is a board, the old one. Crystal Shard. I don't know if it's the 3 or the 4. Either way, it doesn't matter. Crystal Shard. And he wanted to update with the new Crystal Focus 10, which obviously has smooth swing and all that wonderful stuff. So let's get into it. So a couple things that we did. So in the emitter, we do have, you can see in there, the Stoke neopixel connector. So it is going to illuminate, which will be good for blade plugs, essentially. Not really good for a blade, but, you know, blade plugs is mainly what it was made for, to kind of illuminate that when there's no blade in there. What else we do? You do have my own connector that I printed in there, which supports the pixels the pins pretty well. The only thing I'm going to say is that if you're putting your blade in, you know this by now, you've been around for a while, Keenan, but obviously sand it down enough so that when you put it in, it's not something you have to jam in. And the reason being is that when I put this in, I can actually feel when it makes contact with the pins, and then push it just slightly more. Just because all neopixel connectors are funky, but especially these ones. So just make sure you're kind of gentle when putting it in. Aside from that, you're fine for your dueling, your swinging. I know you don't really duel much, so you'll be good for that. Let's see what else here. So yeah, internally we have the Stoke connector, the Crystal Focus 10, a chassis by Robert Sotomayor. He had one printed. I just wasn't designing one right now, so I didn't do that yet, but I should get on that. As well as an 18650 lithium-ion battery, the Solos Hold version, so it's the high drain, the one for neopixels. And then I set up your switch LED, which is red, to be connected to your accent LED 1 on the Crystal Focus, so you can program the accent 1 to be on, to be fast blinking, whatever you want, so that'll be there. Then also just a small dumb upgrade is I took this ugly thing, which I love Rob, but ew. And I replaced it with just a good kill key. So it's a little bit harder to grip, so I am going to leave this with you in case you're doing like quick on and offs, because it's a little more low profile, but I think it looks a lot nicer. And then so the main thing that we did that I'm not going to actually show off because it's semi-impossible to, is what I did was I made this, which is, all it is that this connector connects with, it's just easier if I show you. I know you know this, but for everyone else watching the video. So take off your pommel. There. Speaker pops out. So you have your connector here, and this connector will work with the red connector that goes to the board. So when you pop off your speaker, and it has just a normal headphone jack on the end. And so for Keenan, because he's a font maker, that's perfect, because then what he can actually do, he explained this to me as such, is that he can then take headphones and listen to his font when he's doing demos. My guess is for a clearer picture, among other things. I'm not sure what other reasons, but I know that it's for font makers. So you do have that, which is the part that we were waiting on. Yeah, and that's it. So let's get fired up. Keenan, because he does sound fonts, he's going to do most of the programming on this. I just did his basic install, and I tossed a couple fonts on there just to show off.
This is just the beginning.
So obviously this is a Count Dooku font. Right now you're, let's see if I can, getting used to the new thing. Obviously you can see that. So that's just pulsing however it's set up in the config right now. Excuse me, but you can change it as you need to. So let's see here. So yeah, this is Keenan's Dooku font. I'm going to show you the Stoke connectors first. So when you fire it up, so you have, you know, connectors right there. I know that Keenan for this font did the config file himself, so it's all kind of set up however he wanted it to come with the font, so I didn't change anything, which I think is pretty awesome, because then a user could just pop it on the board and this is how it would react on any Crystal Focus board, give or take the placement of the board. But still, so that's pretty awesome just out of the gate, how that is. Let's see here. So obviously, can you know how to cycle?
Sound bank selection.
Fonts. And Keenan, I know you're big for sound. I just want you to know that was so loud. This is only on 90% right now, and that was so loud that I can actually feel like the reverb from the sound going through the Saber coming out of the kill keyhole. So, I don't know, pretty cool. This is Ascension, which I'll toss a blade in for. Put this in. Good practice to put your kill key in, just because of the fact that sometimes you can short it if you put that in with the kill key. And Keita knows how much I love this font. It's purple. So just preview with a couple of the fonts, obviously. Like I said, this is a pretty straightforward install. There wasn't much going on, and I don't need to really go through the fonts because there was nothing, crazy requested for them. Keenan, I know that I am going to be making you one of these blades essentially for demos. We can talk about the length, but like I said, this is something I've been doing, which is very much worth it for demos because it's so short. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It's a very short video, so. The only thing I had to do is that this screw right here had to be cut down. Doesn't make a difference because you shouldn't be taking it apart at all. So that's really not an issue. But yeah, that's really it. So hope you enjoy it, and I'll talk to you guys later.